Hello everybody, how you doing tonight? If you're getting this, we have 4 minutes and 23 seconds to air. Denver traveling to Pittsburgh will be our game tonight. Hope you are all well. It is October the 14th. It is the night where the Tampa Bay Rays could clinch the American League pennant for only the second time in their history. They play San Diego a little later tonight. All sorts of things going on in the sports world and in the world of politics, which we will not get into. We hope to be bringing you this game in full definition tonight. Last night we were only able to give you the game at 900 by 600 or something like that. But I have set up OBS to do the 1440 by 900, and I will let YouTube do with that what thou wilt. Hello to everybody on Digital to Dice podcast who might be tuning in about 3 minutes' time. I am just about ready to go, but we will let the final seconds tick off the clock. He said clock, he didn't say anything else. No roosters were involved in the making of that catchphrase. Interesting that we have a night without football in the NFL because they played last night. I think it was Tennessee and Buffalo who played each other, and of course the NFL also reeling with COVID and being able to handle it, and they've had to do a whole bunch of machinations to their schedule, of course. So in 2 minutes and 13 seconds we'll be getting underway. And if you want a fancy little timer like the one I have, for your OBS Studio project, just Google how to make a countdown timer, OBS Studio. There are many ways to get it done. OBS Studio gives you the built-in tools to do it. There's another JavaScript program or a script called Advanced Timer, and that's what I use for mine. Anybody watching or watching the recording, queue up another minute and a half as you see this, and we will have the game starting then. I tried to edit a video, the Carolina, New York video, this morning, and I really didn't want to mess with it. I have a backup going here, a backup recording, just in case something happens to the live stream or anything like that, because you never know, especially in this day and age, what will happen. And let's see here. Please check the video resolution 1400 by 1900, which is not optimal. Okay. It's a good connection though, right? So 40 seconds to go and we'll get started. Let me find my little chat window. Unless anybody drops by, I will be more than happy to acknowledge you. You could see this. Just chat, say something. I don't bite. And we have 20 seconds to go. So we'll be beginning the broadcast very shortly. Stand by. 13, 12, 11, 10. Guidance is internal. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another game of the Hometown Football League presented by Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims, my channel. Now we'll get you back to the slide you were supposed to see second, and that is Denver playing Pittsburgh at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we will get you started with this. This is, let's see here, the 9th game of week number 11, although we did play some games out of sequence. And if you're looking for a game that has already been run, well, it's either been mentioned on the recap show or in the case of the San Diego-Baltimore game a couple of nights ago, we had some technical issues and we did a recap of that. So Denver and Pittsburgh. Denver in good playoff position at 6-3. Pittsburgh a lot of work to do at 3-6. 41 degrees. Wind of 0 to 10 mile per hour in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh will get the first half choice they will receive because Denver deferred. So, it's John Elway against Ben Roethlisberger. It's Mike Shanahan against Chuck Noll. And I'll tell you a little story about Chuck Noll later in the game. Pittsburgh in their gold and gold numbering and lettering and black uniforms. Denver in white. And we will get this started. Woodson, Chadnois, and Dudley, the return men. Woodson's going to return it 2 yards deep. And this goes to the 24.
Receiving team.
But it's going to come back as Ham gets called for the illegal block. So let's set up the Pittsburgh offense. Bettis and Johnson, the running backs. Brown and Ward at wideout. Miller at tight end. Roethlisberger quarterbacking. Kolb, Faneca, Webster, DeCastro, and Jackson. Your offensive line. For Denver, Price, Dummerville, Smith, and Jackson, your front four. Talented bunch of linebackers. Miller, Gradishar, and Mecklenburg. Harris Jr., Wright, Atwater, Thompson. Those are your defensive backs. And on 1st and 10, I figure a heavy dose of the bus is going to be in order. Try to play smash mouth with Denver. Trap right Bettis. We'll see what happens. Gain of 2 yards, but a marker.
Offense, number 83.
This game has started sloppily. 2 penalties already. Zach Miller called for a illegal motion penalty. Back up the Steelers 4, and they now operate from their 4. And it's 1st and 14. They'll go to Johnson then. Dive play. Blitz coming, so it's going to be a screen to Johnson. Roethlisberger from his own end zone. He fires. Complete to Johnson. 10, 20, and a first down. Gain of 19 yards. 1st and 10 at the 23. Bettis, trap right. And Bettis does not find a hole, no gain. Dummerville on the tackle, or Doomerville, for the Broncos. This sets up a 2nd and 10. And we're going to just keep the ball on the ground. We're going to go off tackle right. John Henry Johnson. He finds a little bit, gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7. Now, Pittsburgh does have the wind advantage, 0 to 10 mile per hour. They bring Stallworth in as a 3rd wideout, and they're going to go to a medium out play. Roethlisberger back to throw, caught, and that went to Stallworth. 13 yards and a first down. Stallworth, of course, was one of the wide receivers. That was one of the favorite targets of Jerry Bradshaw. On those years they won the Super Bowl, especially Super Bowls 13 and 14. They also won Super Bowls 9 and 10 in the 70s. So they were the decade's team, winning 4 Super Bowls. They won 9, 10, 13, and 14. Bettis, trap right, 1st and 10. And Bettis, a gain of 5, finding good blocking. And they figured that Denver, with their defensive line being a little weaker than their linebacker core, might be able to pound the rock on them today. Trap left Bettis, 2nd and 5. Remember, Pittsburgh has a very deep depth chart of running backs. So if Bettis gets a little tired, they could bring somebody in just as easily. 3rd and a 2. We'll go Johnson, trap left. Just keep pounding it. Now, Denver's playing short and tight, so we're going to go medium fly to Brown. And Brown, ahead of his man. And that's a gain of 14 yards. Antonio Brown beat Louis Wright. And it's 1st and 10 now at the Denver 39. We'll go to Johnson again, off tackle right. This is going to be a gain of 3 yards. Harris Jr. made the tackle. Now a 2nd and 7. And it's going to be a sweep right to John Henry. And John Henry hammering his way to the 32, a pickup of 4. 3rd and 3. Bring in 2 tight ends, but it's going to be play action, medium pass to Brown. Incomplete, but a marker.
Offsides. Defense. Number 58. 5-yard penalty.
Pittsburgh playing very disciplined, and it's throwing Denver off balance. That's a 5-yard penalty and a first down to the 27 with 8:18 left in the opening quarter. Already a 6.5-minute drive by Pittsburgh. This will be the 11th play of it. John Henry Johnson, trap right, a marker before the play.
False start. Offense. Number 52, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They get Mike Webster, the Hall of Fame center, and it backs them up 5. 1st and 15 at the 32. They're going to stick with the running game and go trap right with John Henry. And he finds a hole, 30, 25, 20. He might go. Fumble. Picked up by Miller. Zach Miller, Johnny on the spot, and in total, the play gains 23 yards. Now, both running backs are tired, but we're going to stick with them. Dive play Bettis, 12th play of the drive. And a gain of 2, setting up 2nd and goal from the 7. This drive has already taken up half the quarter. Johnson, trap left. John Henry, touchdown. John Henry Johnson. It is 6-0 Pittsburgh. That was an 8:05 drive. 8 minutes and 5 seconds, went 13 plays, took 96 yards. And Gary Anderson with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So Pittsburgh kicking off. Upchurch, Drones, and Little back deep for Denver. And this will be a touchback. So we'll set the Denver offense for you and then the Pittsburgh defense. Davis and Humphrey are your running backs. Smith and Taylor at wideout. Sharp, that is Shannon Sharp, as James Brown likes to say all the time. He is at tight end. Elway at quarterback. Clady, Bishop, Nalen, Neal, Lepsis are your offensive linemen. For Pittsburgh, it is Stautner starting today. Hayward, Green, Hampton, that is your front 4. Ham, Lambert, and Porter are your linebackers. Woodson, Blunt, Polamalu, and Shell, a very talented bunch of defensive backs. 1st and 10 at the 20. Pittsburgh has the talent, but that has not translated into wins so far this season. A gain of 8. Elway to Smith, and Mel Blunt on the tackle for Pittsburgh. 2nd and 2 at the 28. Davis will get the first down. He picks up 3. 1st and 10 at the 31. We have 5:50 now left in the opening quarter. Here's your 1st and 10 play. Davis again, and he's got a hole. He'll be close to the first down. He picks up 9. Hampton on the tackle for Pittsburgh. Terrell Davis against Carolina last week, actually perhaps more like a couple of weeks ago in real time. He gained 120 yards on 19 carries. 2nd and 1 at the 40. That's a throw and a catch to Sharp. And Sharp against Carolina had 6 catches for 92 yards. This one gained 20. And it's 1st and 10 at the 40. Bobby Humphrey bounces to the left side, gets 2 yards. Green on the tackle for Pittsburgh. Joe Green, and it is 2nd 8 at the 38. I have to say that because Kevin Green also used to play for Pittsburgh. Also played for the Rams and the Panthers. 3-yard gain before Ernie Stautner makes the tackle. That was Humphrey. And Brandon Marshall comes in as a 3rd wide receiver. 3rd and 5, ball at the 35. 2:51 now left in the quarter. Elway to Taylor. Good for the first, 11 yards. And Mel Blount might be hurt. But no, tweaked his knee a little bit, and he's going to shake it off. 1st and 10 at the 24. Elway looks and finds Bobby Humphrey on the screen, and that is a gain of 5. Riley Odoms comes in as a second tight end. 2nd and 5 to Davis. Nothing doing, no gain. Jack Lambert on the tackle. 3rd and 5, ball at the 19. This is Davis. Davis to the 10, to the 9, and a 10-yard gain. Dudley made the tackle, and we have already reached the end of the first quarter with both teams not completing their first possession yet. It is 7-0 in favor of Pittsburgh. Here are your next 5 games coming at you here on the Hometown Football League on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. Tomorrow night, San Francisco at Denver. Kickoff will be live at 7:30. But you could always watch the game on the recording, the YouTube video stream, the recording, if you choose, something like that. Friday, it's Miami and Philadelphia. Then we take the weekend off, come back at you Monday. Dallas and Minnesota, that'll be a good game. That's 7:30 Monday night. Houston and Kansas City on Tuesday night. Tennessee and St. Louis will be your game a week from tonight. That's right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. And I am going to check a couple of things out here. Let me first transition back to the game screen. There we go. And we'll see what we're doing here. Okay, we're good to go. So far in the game, Denver 71 yards, 10 plays, but they have not completed their first possession yet. Pittsburgh 12 plays, 96 yards. This is a 1st and goal from the Pittsburgh 9. And off we go. Elway's going to keep it, and he gains 2. Hayward hurt. And let's see, he is out for the game. So I think that is McPeak coming in for him as the replacement. We'll look at McPeak because I think it's the first time we have seen him all season. I could be wrong about it. He's out of Pittsburgh, the Pitt Panthers. Defensive end and a kicker, which in that era was not that unusual. So now it's going to be a 2nd and goal, and the ball resting at the Pittsburgh 7. Denver now has a little bit of a wind advantage for the next 2 quarters. Touchdown! Shannon Sharp catches the pass from Elway, and we are a point away from a tie game, 7-6. Your point after, good. And McManus put that through, and we're dead even at 7-7, and we just started the second quarter. If you've just tuned in, or if you've just queued up to this point in the video, 14:46 left. Both teams have scored touchdowns on lengthy first possessions. Woodson back deep for Pittsburgh. This is going to go 8 yards into the end zone for a touchback. Bettis has started 4 carries and 10 yards. John Henry Johnson has been the star running back. 5 carries, 40 yards, and 1 catch for 19. We'll go to him off tackle right. He's in the fullback spot. That's a gain of 3. Dumerville makes the tackle. So Pittsburgh continues to think that they can win the game in the trenches, and so far they are not wrong. Trap right Bettis, but a blitz comes, so it's going to be a medium slant to Antonio Brown. And Brown is, no. I thought they were going to throw it to him, but instead they throw it to Bettis, and he's got the first down. Let's profile Jerome Bettis real fast. 162 carries, 684 yards in this HTFL season. He has 2 touchdowns, his longest rush 48 yards. He has caught 16 passes, 145 yards, and his longest catch was 21. He has had 2 games of over 100 yards in the rushing department, and his best receiving game was 43 yards against Cleveland. You can note here that Pittsburgh has lost 3 in a row, including a surprise loss to Arizona, and then they have lost since to Baltimore and Buffalo. Their only 3 wins against Chicago, a 16-0 shutout against Miami, and then a 20-10 win against Cincinnati week 6. But since then, they have lost 3 in a row. 1st and 10, ball at the 30. Johnson, off tackle right. Run to that strong side, but a loss of a yard. Carl Mecklenburg came up and made the tackle. The Boo Birds out in Pittsburgh. Perhaps they are wondering, why is Pittsburgh running the ball so many times? They have run it 11 times. They have thrown 4 times. Roethlisberger is a perfect 4 for 4 so far. 53 yards, I beg your pardon. Sweep left Johnson, 2nd and 11. Gain of 3. And Gradishar again on the tackle. And it will be 3rd and 8. Man in motion, medium pass. This will go to Hines Ward with all going well. And he caught it, and a marker down. Gain of 16. We'll see what happened.
Offense.
Oh, it's coming back.
65, 10-yard penalty.
Jackson for holding, and it's 3rd and 18 at the 22. So needing 18 yards. They'll go Stallworth on the long hitch pass. See if Big Ben can throw it in there. A dump off instead, and a marker.
Encroachment defense. Number 58, 5-yard penalty.
They book Doomerville for encroachment, and that's going to give Pittsburgh yet another chance, this time a 3rd and 13. We're going to look for Zach Miller on a medium out. I wanted to do something, but I guess I forgot to do it in time. And yeah, it cost me. I was going to say quarterback must pass. The completion was made. They needed 13. They got 11. So Jimmy Orr is going to come in. This will be the first punt of the game for either team. 4th and 2. Jimmy Orr was also a wide receiver back in the 60s for Pittsburgh. And Upchurch with a return of 5 yards, and he's been known to break one here or there. And that punt went 37, the return went 5, so the net will be 32 yards. So it's 7-7, as we are at 7:48 Eastern Time. Those of you watching, live and in color, 1st and 10, ball at the 30. Here's your throw, complete to Smith, and he's got a gain of 9. Blunt pushes him out of bounds, and it is 2nd and 1. Ball, like I said, at the 39. Denver, of course, their first really good team. They had to wait 17 years to make the playoffs. Playing in the AFL beginning in 1960, they didn't really have their first real playoff run until the year of Super Bowl 12 in 1977-78. Here's the 1st and 10 play. Elway's going to scramble. A forced fumble recovered by Pittsburgh. Jack Ham. And it was Blunt who forced the fumble. Ham recovered it. And Pittsburgh now takes over a 1st and 10 at the 49. And I think they're just going to go back to running the football. But, of course, that 77 Bronco team was pretty darn good. They had a great defense called the Orange Crush. Beat Pittsburgh and beat Oakland to go to the Super Bowl, but lost to Dallas 27-10 in Super Bowl 12. Pitch left to Bettis on 2nd and 2. And he's got running room to the 30, down to the 28, to pick up a 13 yards. And this is now a 1st and 10 at the 28. Bettis straight ahead dive. They want to get Bettis and Johnson a lot of carries. This is the 7th for Bettis. He's at 35 yards now after that gain of 4. Speaking of Johnson, we'll go to him, trapped right on 2nd down. No gain.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 83, 5-yard penalty.
And it's 2nd and 11. Ball at the 29. Stallworth, medium out on the 2nd and 11 play. Got it. And Stallworth at the first down. Jackson injured and will be out a few plays. So in comes Costa, Dave Costa, out of the University of Utah. So it wasn't too far for him to get to go to Denver. 1st and 10 and at the 16. Johnson, trap right. Marker.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense. Number 90, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You hear the man. And that's 5 more yards of penalties for Denver. They have 3 penalties, 15 yards. Pittsburgh, 5 for 32. And on 1st and 5, might be time to do some play action here. And we're going to look for a medium crossing route to Hines Ward. Ball at the 11. Incomplete. Gradishar tipped it, but nobody could catch it before it had hit the ground. Trap right Bettis, 2nd and 5 from the 11. And that's a gain of 3. Dumerville on the tackle for Denver, setting up 3rd and 2 yards. Bettis, dive. Blitz coming. We'll change it to a screen to Johnson. But a marker before the play.
Start. Offense. Number 66, 5-yard penalty.
Fenica with the false start, 3rd and 7. Man in motion, medium pass. And they're going to look to Hines Ward here. A blitz coming, so we're going to make the play a little more specific, and a medium slant's going to be called. Look for 86, incomplete. So this drive's going to stall. And we still only had 1 punt in the game. And here is Anderson from 30. Dead solid perfect, and it's 10-7 in favor of the Steelers. We have 5:53 left in period number 2. As I have a sip of water. And let's see, we have Upchurch back deep for Denver. And this will be returnable. Upchurch just outside the 10, and he chugs it all the way up to the 44. It's going to come back. Gradishar holding, and it moves it back to the 27 of Denver. Elway so far 6 of 6, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. So 6s are wild for him at the moment. Here's his 1st and 10 play. Can he go 7 for 7? Yes, he can. Humphrey, first down. Pickup of 11. Ball at the 38. Of course, Denver in that very tight Upper West playoff race. Sack by, let's see here, Neal was hurt. The right guard, Howard, will replace him. And that's Tom Nalen, the center. We're looking for Mr. Howard, Paul Howard out of Brigham Young. 2nd and 16. As I was saying, Denver in that Upper West Division race, fighting it out with San Francisco and Kansas City. Incomplete. Davis was the intended receiver. 3rd and 16 at the 32. Elway, incomplete. So he goes from 7 to 7 to 7 of 9. Jerry Ryan would approve. 4th and 16 at the 32, so it is Scarpito in to punt, his first of the day, and it's going to be returned. Should be taken at about the 15, and the return by Woodson goes 11 yards. The punt went 56 with a little bit of that breeze at the wind at the back of Scarpito, and it's 1st and 10 at the 23. Bettis, dive. And he stuffed at the line, a loss of a yard. Thompson making the tackle. And it's 2nd and 11. We're going to stick with the running game and go to Bettis, trap right. That's a little bit better result, a gain of 7 yards. Mecklenburg making the tackle. So 3rd and 4. Man in motion, short pass. And we're going to look to John Stallworth. Caught, but a marker.
Holding offense.
Coming back.
66, 10-yard penalty.
To Castro. It's called for a hold, and it's 3rd and 14. Ball at the 19. Stallworth, a medium fly route. Oh, he just misses. Incomplete. So on 4th and 14, Orr comes back in. He punts. And Upchurch going to take it at about the 37 and return it. Actually, he returned it to the 44. The return was 8. The punt was 45. So the net was 37 yards. 2:44 now left in the the second quarter. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. And your score is still 10-7 in favor of Pittsburgh. So, with that in mind, we will resume play. As I was just checking a couple things out. Elway, 1st and 10. Ball to 44. I think I said that already. The throw to Davis was bobbled and lost. And now Elway has missed his last three passes after starting out 7 of 7. 2nd and 10 at the 44. This is a give to Davis, and Davis doing a little better this time. Ernie Stautner on the tackle, a gain of 3. Stautner went on and coached, was a defensive coordinator for, I think, Dallas, and maybe a few other NFL teams that I'm not thinking of at the moment. 3rd and 7. Ball to 47. Incomplete. Looking for Marshall, tipped by Dudley. And 4th and 7. I'll watch for the fake punt here. And I will return it, even though it'll probably land inside the 15. Woodson gained a little bit, 2 yards. The punt went 40. The punt went 42, so the net went 40. 10-7. The Steelers still leading with 2:21 now left to the half. Trap right, Jerome Bettis. And a
Neutral
marker.
zone infraction. Defense. Number 90, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Price moves the Steelers up 5. Steelers have 3 timeouts left, and the Broncos have 2, so we'll get that out of the way. Back to John Henry Johnson, sweep left. And Johnson picks up 2 to the 20. And we'll go to the 2-minute warning with a score of Pittsburgh 10 and Denver 7. So now it is 2nd and 3. And we're going to act like we're going to run, but it's going to be play action to Brown. And Brown's got it. Gain of 10, and Pittsburgh will call timeout so they could change formations and now have a time penalty. There you go. We have 1:51 left, and each team with 2 timeouts to go. Here comes Big Ben, medium out to Ward. Hines Ward out of Georgia. Oh, he threw that in like a Nolan Ryan fastball. That's a gain of 7. Right knocks him out. We have 1:43 to go. It's 2nd and 3. We're going to go Bettis over the middle here. In the 3 wide receiver formation, a gain of 2. Now they will no huddle. Medium pass, looking for Stallworth. 3rd and 1. Incomplete. 4th and a yard. We're not going to fake punt it here. Jimmy Orr back to punt. This is a good punt. Went 43 yards. It looked a little better than it actually was. And it was Upchurch, tackled by Dodrill. 1st and 10 at the 21, a $1:15 on the clock. Each team with 2 timeouts. Here's Elway. He throws, incomplete, and a marker.
Number 66, 10-yard penalty.
They nail-nailing for offensive holding, and it's 1st and 20 at the 11. Humphrey gets this in the flat, 10, 15 to the 20. It's a gain of 9. And Denver's going to keep the clock running. 2nd and 11 at the 20. That means confidence is low. They're going to get a score here before the half. 32 seconds left. And it's 3rd and 11 now. I thought that was 3rd down. This is 3rd down. This is Davis. Gain 7. With 22 seconds left, Pittsburgh will use a timeout. And we're going to go for the block, which I don't like to do all the time, just because things could go wrong. A fumble recovered by Lambert. And we have 13 seconds left to halftime. Medium hitch to Stallworth on 1st and 10. Incomplete. 9 seconds left, and I think Bettis is just going to run a dive play, and that's going to be it for the half. Gain of 6. 1 second left. And we have one timeout. Hell, we'll use it. 3rd and 4. Well, we're just going to chuck this one and see what happens. Jefferson will be the intended receiver. Roy Jefferson. He's matched up against the linebacker Gradishar. So we have kind of the Lenny Moore thing happening here. Let's see. Look for number 80 down at the bottom of your screen. They're going to go to him. Incomplete. And after all that excitement, we have reached halftime. It is 10-7 in favor of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looking to go 4-6 on the year. As I see, TBS is starting to carry the pregame of the Tampa Bay-Houston ALCS game. Of course, I am living in Pinellas Park, Florida, and that is about 10 miles as the crow flies from Tropicana Field where the Rays play. So we are hoping tonight that the Rays sweep Houston and win their first National American League pennant since 2008 when they went to the World Series and played Philadelphia and lost in 5 games, including that 5th game that had to be played over 2 days because of rain. So Pittsburgh kicks off to Denver. Pittsburgh 193 yards. They have run 35 plays. Denver 24 plays, 123. Upchurch, returnable at the 5 or thereabouts. And Upchurch,
Holding.
31 yards.
Team, 10-yard penalty.
They get Miller for holding, and that backs Denver up tremendously to the 11. And it's 1st and 10 from there. And that's a gain of 10 for Davis to the outside and a 1st down. Davis, 8 carries, 43 yards so far on the day. A 1st and 10 at the 21. Bobby Humphrey out of Alabama. Gain of 2 yards, and Hampton makes the tackle for Pittsburgh. 2nd and 8 at the 23. And this is Terrell Davis, 8 yards and a 1st down. Let's take a look at Terrell Davis while I'm thinking of it. 746 yards so far. He's picked up 51 today, so that will be, I think that will be added on to the 746, so he should be at 797. 34 catches for 462, so he'll be well above his pass catching average. And he has had 3 games, his last 3 games he's gone over 100 yards, and he had one in the opener against Seattle, 17-13 win. And you can take a look at how Denver has fared here. They won 1, lost 1, won 2, lost 1, won 2, lost 1, and they just beat Carolina. So they're kind of a back and forth team. San Francisco had a big lead on Denver in that loss, but Denver rallied back and only lost 48-35. 1st and 10 at the 31 because San Francisco put in a lot of their second stringers, and the Denver passing game just lit them up. 2nd and 11 at the 30 after that tackle by Lambert and a 1-yard loss. This is a catch by Brandon Marshall, and he gains 9 yards. 3rd and 2, ball at the 39. And that's incomplete.
Holding. Offense. Number 66.
Nailing.
10-yard penalty.
Gets nailed again. And it is 3rd and 12 down at at the 29, or over at the 29, I guess you could say. 11:07 left, quarter number 3. Elway completes the Lionel Taylor. He zipped that right on in there, and Elway was known for that. Not afraid to throw the old pigskin like it was a Nolan Ryan fastball. A gain of 24. Rod Woodson on the stop. And that moves the ball on the Pittsburgh side of the field at the 47. First and 10. This is going to be a reverse. And it is
12 men on the field.
Smith,
5-yard penalty.
who gained 7, and they ran the reverse so well because they had 12 men on the field, and Denver must have thought they were in the CFL for a minute. First and 15 at the 48 of Denver. Davis stuffed, 1-yard loss. Polamalu makes the tackle. Now it's second and 16.
False start. Offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Elway called for the false start. How about that? Second and 21 at the 42. It's Elway. A drop, a throw, incomplete, looking for Marshall. Third and 21. Ball at the 42. Elway. Caught by Marshall, but he only gains 3, and Denver will have to punt. Scarpito back deep. Punting to Woodson. And let's see here. A safe punt return, I will call. And Woodson gains a little bit. 8 yards to the 8-17. So he got it at the 9 and went to the 17. 8:33 left, third quarter. It's a 10-7 game still. Trap right, Jerome Bettis. Keep it on the ground. Bettis, close to the first. He has it. Bettis now 13 carries and 62 yards on the day. Johnson will now get the ball, sweep left. He gains 4 yards. Jackson was hurt on the play. Defensive tackle Jackson, and he's going to be out a little more. So Costa comes in again. Second and 6 at the 31. Johnson, screen. Chuck Knoll. That screen to Johnson went for a first down, 11 yards. He got his start head coaching for Pittsburgh in 1969. And in 69, Pittsburgh was terrible. They were at 1-13. They were tied for the worst record in the NFL with the Chicago Bears. Now imagine that. Pittsburgh and Chicago being the 2 worst teams in the league. This is going to be a screen to Bettis on first and 10. Of course, by 1972, Bettis is going to get the first down here. Pickup of 12. So Roethlisberger doing well with the screens. He's 10 for 16 and 117 yards. Bettis trap right. First and 10. By 72, they made the playoffs, and I guess the turning point for the Steelers franchise was that game close to Christmas of 72, a divisional playoff against Oakland, where they were trailing 7-6. They had a fourth down play where the ball caromed off of Frenchie Fuqua and Jack Tatum, and went right into the arms of Franco Harris, to the point where it surprised absolutely everybody, including NBC's Kurt Gowdy, who you can catch on YouTube making the call of the game. And Pittsburgh won that game 13-7, and that play has ever since been called the Immaculate Reception. Hello, Al Red Sox fan. How are you, sir? You're my first customer here doing these games live. Bettis. Pittsburgh just keeps pounding the rock. A gain of 7. The Franco Harris touchdown. Yeah, the Immaculate Reception. And of course, Stephon Diggs of Minnesota has had the second Immaculate Reception a few years ago, Minnesota beating New Orleans. Bettis, pickup of 12. I guess they kind of call that the Minneapolis Miracle or something like that too, but I always thought of it as another Immaculate Reception. Keep pounding the rock to Jerome Bettis here. Trap right. And Bettis 15, 10, 5. Put it on the board. Touchdown Steelers. Bettis getting a double ovation. He has gone over 100 yards today. He's at 108. Point after by Gary Anderson is good, and it is 17-7. We have 3:29 left in the opening, the opening quarter of the half, but it is quarter number 3. Sometimes I lose my place. Upchurch, back deep for Denver. Denver's really got to get it going now. Trailing by more than a score with 3:29 left in the third quarter. See, I remembered that. Okay, let's see what Elway can do. Throwing, he was flushed out of the pocket, went to his right, and that's incomplete. Looking for Terrell Davis. So far for Elway, he's 11 of 18, 116 yards and a touchdown. Davis has not had a bad game, 10 out of 10 carries for 50 yards. Elway has been distributing the ball pretty well. We got 4 receivers in the game right now who have at least 2 catches. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Elway throwing and not finding Lionel Taylor. That's incomplete. A 3rd and 10, ball at the 20 now. Again. Elway getting a lot of time to throw but not finding anybody. That was broken up by Dudley, and Elway was trying to find Lionel Taylor. Elway started 7 for 7 on the day and has since, let's see if I do my math right, he's gone 4 for 13. So Tom Scarpito, back deep for Denver. And that is Woodson returning at 10. The punt went 48, so the net will be 38 yards. So Pittsburgh taking over, 3:04 to go. We're nearing the end of the third quarter. We're just going to keep pounding it with with Bettis. No gain. Dummerville again on the tackle. Dummerville's had quite a few tackles today. 2nd and 10. John Henry Johnson, we will call on you, trap right. No gain. 3rd and 10. They'll go 3 wide and put Roethlisberger in the gun to Stallworth. And trap right to Johnson. Oh, blitz coming. We're going to go medium slant. The immaculate reception now was one of the strangest plays in football history up to that point.
Upon further review, the ball touched the ground
An
before
incompletion.
being secured. Incomplete.
Looked like Pittsburgh had the first.
Will be charged.
And they did not. Denver used up their sole challenge. And it's going to be 4th and 10 at the 42. Jimmy Orr back to punt. Not good punting into the wind, but he won't have that problem the rest of the game once we get out of the third quarter. Pittsburgh with the wind advantage. And Upchurch returns 9 yards. The punt went 44, so the net was 35. 1:33 now left. Oh, all is well. Kind of waiting for the Rays game to start here, hoping they win the pennant tonight. 1st and 10 at the 20. Bobby Humphrey, gain of 7. Donnie Shell makes the tackle. And it's 2nd and 3, ball at the 30. So if you're seeing this some point in the future, I'm recording this October 14th, 2020. So this is the night where the Rays could clinch the American League pennant. So everybody here in Tampa excited about that. A gain of 7 for Elway. And that's going to be it for quarter number 3. And we'll go to the 4th. It's 17-7 Pittsburgh. And here is the address. You never know what's going to happen in today's society, folks. So, should I not be able to post on Facebook, and I'm not suggesting something's going to come along where that might happen, but you never know. I have set up a blog where I put the recordings that I do. Almost do a recording every night of something. And HTFL is my baby during the weekdays, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. We do some other stuff too, like Grand Slam Wrestling. franchise hockey manager, the Hartford Whalers, who haven't done very good in 80-81, and the OOTP Perfect Team diary series that I've been doing since about April, late April, early May. So here's the address of the blog, should you ever need it. It is Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims.wordpress.com. That is, again, if I don't mangle it, Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims.wordpress.com. So let's get back to the game. We're almost done here, folks. Demarius Thomas is going to come in, and he will be a fourth wideout. Denver goes for a little more speed. Denver has run 38 plays, 191 yards. Pittsburgh 46 plays. It's tough to do math fast sometimes. 276 yards of total offense. Been a very close defensive battle with both teams utilizing the run, but I think Denver's going to open up the playbook here. 1st and 10 at the 37. This is a give to Terrell Davis, so what do I know? A gain of 5 yards, and Donnie Shell makes the tackle. A 2nd and 5 at the 42. Davis over the middle again. Go figure, a gain of 8. Dudley makes the tackle, and if you're wondering who Dudley is, Bill Dudley was a running back, defensive back out of the University of Virginia, and he hasn't played too much, hasn't played offensively, but defensively, let's see, he's been, let's see if his defensive stats. He's had 16 tackles, and throwing against him, teams are 11 out of 12, which really doesn't say anything. But he can be utilized offensively too, which, like I keep saying, in the 40s and 50s and early 60s, that wasn't too uncommon. 1st and 10, ball exactly at midfield, 14:09 to go, and Elway takes a timeout. He might need those later. 2 timeouts for Denver, 3 for the Steelers, 13:34 left in regulation. Elway to Brandon Marshall, who gains 13. 1st and 10, ball to 37. Denver trying to close it in a little bit, gain of 7. That went to Terrell Davis. Davis now 13 carries and 70 yards. He hasn't caught a pass yet so far, but might see that. Davis, they keep giving the ball to him. And with Pittsburgh forced to be playing 6 defensive backs, it's opening up the running lanes. A gain of 5. 1st and 10 at the 25. Pittsburgh can only hope that the drive takes up some time on the clock. And this time, Davis, TD, with a 12-yard gain. So he's at 87 yards now. Bettis went over the 100-yard mark earlier in the game. Davis, no gain. Ernie Stautner on the tackle. 2nd and 10 at the 13. Throw, caught, touchdown to Demarius Thomas, and we have a game again, folks. Denver not going away. 17-13 with McManus. About to try the point after. Good. 17-14 now with 9:41 to go. Woodson back deep for the Steelers. Touchback. So Pittsburgh, who has run the ball 29 times, and they have only thrown it 17, they're just going to try to keep that going, pounding the rock. And here's Bettis, trap on the right side, and it's a good one, a pickup of 4. Thompson on the tackle, and Pittsburgh going to play the slow down. They want to waste as much time as they can, which could sometimes backfire on you. Sweep left, John Henry Johnson. He's got the first down. Let's show you John Henry's stats. Out of St. Mary's, peak year being 1960, he has had 259 yards coming into this game, 17 catches, 184. And his biggest game so far, 64 yards against Cleveland in that opening day 30-20 loss. And Cleveland has proven themselves to be quite a good team over the HTFL season. 1st and 10 at the 30. We'll give it to Johnson again. But a short, tight defense being employed by Denver, so it's going to be a medium hitch to Zach Miller. 83, top of your screen. But that bounces off of Jackson, and it falls incomplete. 8:05 left, 2nd and 10. Chuck Noll with an apoplectic look on his face. I want you to run the ball. I don't want you to throw it. Gain of 4 by Bettis. And now Pittsburgh pretty much has to throw here. 3rd and 6. This is going to be a screen, and it's going to go to Brown. They haven't run the wide receiver screen all day, and they'll probably regret doing it there. Incomplete. As Antonio Brown could not find the handle. 7:14 left. Here come the Broncos. Jimmy Orr back to punt. And that went 10 yards. Upchurch on the return. The punt by Orr went 48. 7:07 left, and it's 17-14 Pittsburgh. 1st and 10 at the 28. Elway getting ready to go. He gives it to Humphrey. Humphrey with a gain of 3 yards. 2nd and 7 at the 31. Elway, he'll scramble, and it's a gain of 3. Joey Porter on the tackle for the Steelers. 3rd and 4, ball to 34. Big play here for the Broncos to stay alive. They get it. Elway to Taylor, a 1st down. Woodson on the stop for Pittsburgh. 1st and 10. Denver retaining possession at the 41. Marker down. Incomplete. Let's check
Encroachment, defense.
Against Pittsburgh.
Number 84, 5-yard penalty.
Bill McPeak called for the encroachment, and that sets up 1st and 5 at the 46. And this is Davis. He gains 4 yards. And I'll make it 2nd and a yard. Ball exactly at midfield. Double tight end set for Denver. And Denver could not get the first there. Hampton disrupted the handoff to Davis. No gain. Davis now 91 yards on 18 carries. Bettis has 116 on 20. 3rd and a yard. Davis denied again. Gets back to the line, and that's it. So decision time here for Denver. 4th and 1 at the 50. This would be a prime spot for a fake punt, I would think. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Yes, they do run the fake, and it's snuffed. Staunton with a huge play, and Pittsburgh will take over at midfield with a 17-14 lead. But right now, the main stat is time. 3:46 to go. Trap right, Bettis. A gain of 2. Dummerville on the tackle. 2nd and 8. We have 3:39. We're going to chew up some clock here. Johnson, dive. Just get the lay of the land. Johnson's going to have a 1st down. Gain of 14. And Johnson with a season high. We were just talking about that a little earlier. Now he's at 71 yards, and his highest rushing yardage game was in the 60s, so that would make sense. 2:51 to go. Bettis. And we are going to go trap left. And Bettis finds the hole, pick up a 3. Pittsburgh has really done well in the trenches, and that was kind of the strategy of the Steelers. We go to the 2-minute warning. It's 17-14. Steelers with all 3 timeouts. Denver, more importantly, Denver only has 2. 2nd and 7. I'm going to make Denver burn the timeouts they have. It's going to be 2 running plays here. Bettis has a 1st down. Pick up a 13. To the 18. And now Bettis at 134. And Pittsburgh in the driver's seat now. Only a turnover could save them. In all likelihood, they're going to get the clock close to nothing here. John Henry Johnson, trap right, gain of 2. And Denver not burning a timeout. So we're going to play it safe. Bettis, keep the football, sir. Trap right. Bettis, close to the first. He has it, and that should do it. 53 seconds left. Denver calls their last timeout. Take a couple of knees there, Big Ben, and we'll get out of here. Your final's going to be 17-14 Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh at the 4-6. Denver the 6-4. So we'll take a look at the stats. Who was the player of the game? That's what I'm kind of curious about. It was Jerome Bettis, and so not surprising. He had a 21-yard touchdown, which put the game out of reach late in the third quarter. So he deserved to win. Here are your scores again. Pittsburgh with 10 unanswered after a 7-7 tie. Each team scoring on their first series. And then the game kind of bogged down from there. But Pittsburgh doing just enough to get the win. Team stats, 330 for Pittsburgh, total yards. 2 of 3 in the red zone. Denver was perfect in the red zone. 2 trips, 2 touchdowns. They had 271 yards. Time of possession was about even. Penalties, there were 18 of them, so the game was a little sloppy. Pittsburgh ran the ball 40 times, 213 yards. They only threw it 19. So Denver, 30 rushes, 23 yards. So each team tried to run the ball, but Pittsburgh was way better. Davis nearly got to 100. He was 9 shy. He had 91 yards rushing. Bettis with 142. The top receiver in terms of yardage was Lionel Taylor with 42. So as you can see, not a lot getting done through the air on this cold 41-degree day in Pittsburgh. Leading tackler was Atwater of Denver, 8 tackles. That's it. So we'll take a look at the standings real fast. They'll be over on the upper left of your screen, probably in small print. So if you want to put your screen in theater mode or blow up to a full screen, you might want to do it. And I'll move my pointer over and show you the changes. Pittsburgh to 4-6 on the year, so they are still going to be 3 games behind Cleveland. They got a lot of work to do just to make the playoffs. Baltimore at 6-4 would be the last team in, as it stood right now in the Northern Conference. As you look to Denver, Denver is now 6-4, and they could wind up being 2 games behind San Francisco. But they would probably still get the last wildcard spot with San Diego losing to Baltimore early in the week. And your next 3 games, San Francisco and Detroit tomorrow night. That would not be a bad game. Miami and Philadelphia. Dallas and Minnesota on Monday night. So again, your final tonight, it was 17-14 Denver over Pittsburgh. No, Pittsburgh beat Denver. Let's get it straight. Morton to the Broncos. Yeah, Red Sox fan, yeah. Craig Morton, who used to also play for the Cowboys. Yes, very much so. He is not on the Denver HTFL team, if you were wondering. And with that, we will call it a night. I want to get situated and watch the Rays game. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are, no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again.